Long story short, I couldn't sell that deal. I couldn't sell the deal. And I spent so much time and energy getting this seller talked into it, letting him know things, teaching him, getting him beat down, blah, blah, all this stuff, right? Just to not be able to move that deal. And that hurt my feelings. We lost EMD money, right? Because we put, I think it was $1,500 earnest money deposit. We had to honor the contract because we didn't fulfill our obligation, and it taught me a lesson. Hey, Corey, how about how about you don't do this again? And how about you go to your end buyer and you form a relationship with them and you understand what it is that they want and what it is that they will buy. And then, and then it takes that whole problem out of the equation. So that's probably the best story I got. That changed up my approach a lot, right?
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pro Show. I'm your host, Erika, and today I'm thrilled to be joined by Corey Mays. He's been making serious moves in the real estate investing and capital space. Corey, I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you, Erica. I'm more than happy to be here as well. It's my first podcast or interview type thing, and so I'm really thrilled to be on Investor Fuel and to give your listeners something to think about and something to learn from.
Yeah, so let's jump on in, Corey. For our listeners who may not be familiar with your world, give us the rundown. How did you get started in real estate?
Wow, real estate. Okay. Well, so I started my entrepreneurial world in real estate this year on February the 22nd, 2025. It was the first time I had stepped into the space and actually started even just retaining information, right? So that started my journey right there. So kind of new, but I've been able to excel and I've been able to grow at speeds that most people take decades to do. Right? And it's only a direct blessing from God, right? I don't take any credit, but that's the truth of it. I started off pretty soon. And yeah, does that yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. And for you, Corey, what would you say is like your main focus these days? Like what markets are you in, and how do you decide if something's a good fit?
Well, so real estate, as we all know, right, or maybe they don't know, there is a lot of different subcategories and different markets all wrapped in that little pretty banner called real estate. You have goodness, you have wholesaling, you got single family, multifamily, commercial, industrial. The list keeps growing, right?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
What I started off doing in real estate is I took my sales experience that I had. So give you a little bit of background. I've coached, trained, and led sales professionals in different industries like hospitality and tourism, the timeshare industry, and solar, right? And so I just took my skills, my abilities from the sales industry and started applying them to real estate. And it was a good fit. It really was a good fit. Now, I started off in wholesaling, all right, and because I kind of thought to myself as a new entrepreneur, right? Well, I know how to sell. There's wholesaling. Let's give it a whirl, right? And it's a it's pretty competitive, right? And also there's a little bit of the stain on that subcategory, that industry right now. And there's a little bit of litigation, and that industry is going to evolve. And I hate to say it, but it might very much so slow down. And as where is normal people that aren't accredited and things like that can get impulse selling because of such. However, that's where I started, and I would encourage people to, get in the ball with bird dogging, right? It's an acronym for essentially finding deals for buyers and things. The long story short, the things that most excites me now, because I've moved from wholesaling into acquisitions, right? And I am more than thrilled about things like short-term rentals and co-living maximization. So whenever you're talking about your return on your investment, or what dollar amount like serves you well, right? What will make you more money, right? If you're just looking at cash flow and opportunities like that. Whenever you step into multifamily and mini hotels and things like that, where you have several units, right, to operate, it's it's just a lot better, right? And it's actually easier to get funding, contrary to popular belief. It's kind of because I operate in that business as well under Quantum Solus Equities Group, my third business that we're forming, me and my partners. And b believe it or not, believe it or not, it is easier to get somebody the capital for, let's just say, a 60 unit property, right? In a nice desired market, maybe a 10, $15 million capital needed raising, I mean, capital needed, right, for that asset, as opposed to somebody needing say a duplex or a triplex, and it's their first deal and going into there, right? It's actually easier to get funding for larger scale projects because, you know what I mean, the asset can actually sustain itself. And when you understand that, is that my mission as an entrepreneur or a business man or woman, right? And I want to make the most soundest investments I can, right? And I want it to be easiest that I can too. You know what I mean? I don't want to go fight with somebody and have to convince them that I'm going to do what I'm saying I'm going to do. So when you bridge that gap and you see the bigger opportunity in the multifamilies and see that, hey, it really matters about the deal, not so much as you or the other individual, right? If the deal makes sense, it can get funded. You know what I mean? And so I love multifamily acquisitions now. I love mini hotel models. One of our strengths, my business partner, Deval Jane, he is a rental arbitrage genius. And long story short, because it's a fancy word of essentially saying you are essentially just re-renting, right? Different units out, right? So think of Airbnb like that kind of model, right? Yeah, and VRBO, things like that, just in a different structure to where they're not individual homes. So we go to hotels and multifamily units, and we essentially, um, we operate our short-term rental back. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
love the yeah, I got a little sidetracked, but to answer your question, what excites me the most right now and what I'm focusing on is the multifamily acquisitions and also business acquisitions. So
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, that's really exciting. And for, that space, how are you finding those properties? What is that process like?
Well, so fortunately, whenever I built up my wholesaling pipeline, I started tapping into multifamilies across different states, like Texas and Florida, Oklahoma, Ohio, just different, markets. So it allowed me to, because also in wholesaling, you have to, in you have to have the financials, right? So it's very common for me and within my pipeline to have the deal, have the financials, to everything to where I can make a financial analysis of it. And so essentially, how it looks for me is I'm able to cherry pick off my own pipeline, right? I have a in source of deals. I connect with different disposition teams and different wholesaling groups and things like that. And I have an endless supply of great deals, and they know what I like too. So they send me my creative finance, my sub twos and things like that. So it's kind of tailored to where I kind of have that luxury just to, oh, I kind of like this. Let's check this one out.
Yeah, absolutely. And since you've been in the real estate world, Corey, has there been a deal that, maybe went sideways or something that taught you a really valuable lesson? You got any moments like that that you can share?
Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I'll tell you my first fundamental one in wholesaling. All right. All right. So that was my first deal. It was in Ormond Beach, Florida. All right. It's kind of what's called Daytona, right? It's the same thing, Ormond Beach and Daytona. It was a no, I'm sorry, it was a single family. I'm pretty sure it was $369,000 if memory serves me. And long story short, this seller the owner of the property had never heard about seller finance, never heard about anything other than, hey, you give me cash for my property and then we exchange the deed. Like, you know what I mean? So I literally took on, and mind you, remember, I'm new to this. I'm new to this. And I took on the challenge myself. And I started explaining to him and teaching him, seller finance and how I was able to even make him an offer like I was. So the first initial offer was, I think I offered him a 10-year balloon. I was going to come in was going to do a Morby method. All right. If you don't know what a Morby method is, it's essentially meaning that we are getting a loan lent to us, right? From a lender, right, from bank, wherever, we're getting a loan lent to us for a certain percentage, right, to give the seller down. And then the seller, since we are giving him such a large amount down payment for the property, he is willing to go into second lien position for the seller carryback amount, right? And so that in itself is not an easy task. Most sellers don't like the idea of subboarding, that first lien position, right? So the caveat is I got in there, I offered him a Morby method, was going to come in at 60% down. He was going to sell or carry 40%. Second lien position, he wanted, I think it was like 8% interest or something like that over 10-year balloon. I got him wiggled down to where I'm like, hey, Mr. Seller, I will give you, we ended up wiggling it down to where he gave me a 3-year balloon. He gave me 3.5% interest. All right. And based on the numbers and what the market was saying that we could make in rent and stuff like that, we were going to be cash flowing, or the seller, because I wasn't buying them at that point, I was wholesaling, right? And so the buyer would have been able to cash flow. I think it was like 700 or $800 a month. Nothing crazy, but it was still a win, right? Well,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Long story short, I couldn't sell that deal. I couldn't sell the deal. And I spent so much time and energy getting this seller talked into it, letting him know things, teaching him, getting him beat down, blah, blah, all this stuff, right? Just to not be able to move that deal. And that hurt my feelings. We lost EMD money, right? Because we put, I think it was $1,500 earnest money deposit. We had to honor the contract because we didn't fulfill our obligation. And it taught me a lesson. Hey, Corey, how about how about you don't do this again? And how about you go to your end buyer and you form a relationship with them and you understand what it is that they want and what it is that they will buy. And and then, it takes that whole problem out of the equation. So that's probably the best story I got. That changed up my approach a lot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When we had started the podcast, or I should say before we hit record, and when we were chatting, Corey, you were really passionate just talking about like community and networking and building relationships in real estate. Can you share more about how that's made a difference for you, and what kind of advice would you give our listeners when it comes to growing their network?
I will tell you. So there's we talked on this too, and I should have looked it up the actual verse, but I'm a Christian entrepreneur, right? And so I use the Bible as a fundamental source of how to live life. Right? I'm not going to preach at you, but there's this major verse that sticks out to me, and it says that as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. And what that means to me is that, hey, you can learn and you are going to grow whenever you are around people that know more than you, that are better than you at certain things, right? That can teach you what and where you want to be, where you need to be, things like that. You are only going to grow. You are only going to grow in the amount of how valuable your network and your resources and your circle is. All right. Like I've only been able to grow. I've only been able to do the things in the short amount of time that I've been given, like on this, because of the collective resources and the collective strength of my partnerships, period, bar none. It would have been impossible, right? And that is what I would tell to the listeners is that, guys, you might be smart, you might be intelligent, you might have all of these great things, so does other people. And when you combine, right, the resources and the talents of other individuals that align with your vision and that want to see you grow, right, guys, it's going to change your world. Partnerships are the most important thing you can have in business, bar none.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that you have some now, and that you've got some exciting things on the horizon. So can you share more about what you're growing, scaling?
Oh, for sure. So I've got three businesses. Well, so technically two that are formed and in operation. The third one is in operation, but we're actually forming the LLC, the entity, this week, as a matter of fact, because we figured out, hey, this is the approach we want to do. This is our operating agreements, all that fun stuff. And so all three of those businesses are focused around real estate, right? So my first one, and the first one that I built and grown was Big Blessed Investments LLC. And long story short, we are a wholesaling and acquisitions company. I have a very unique approach to where I call it bird dogging 4.0. And what that does is that allows me and my team and my people, that I coach, and like we all have roles, responsibilities, right? And that allows us to avoid the problem that I just explained to you in another story. We go directly from the buyer first. right? And so in my buyers list, if it's not just a buyers list, they're actually connections and their relationships with these individuals to where when I call them, they answer. And the same thing for me. When they call me, I'm picking up that phone, right? Because you have that is where you grow, right? Is when you have a direct source of communication to decision makers, right? And so whenever I understand what that individual's buy box is, what excites him, and what he will actually give me money for to bring him, that, you know what I mean? It's how I structure my business. So we reverse engineer it to where we go to the buyers first, and they let us know, hey, Corey, this is what I'm wanting to acquire. This is the type of real estate that excites me, right? And it's my job to go find it for them and deliver it to them, right? So that's that, and we're also stepping into business acquisitions, which I love, and but it's going to be around real estate too, because I want to own the stuff along with it. But anyway, my second business that I formed is Rockstars Holdings LLC, and that is a partnership LLC with three other partners inside of the Sub Two community. For your viewers, if anyone's familiar with Sub Two with Pace Morby, it is a great community, and I've been able to learn, grow, and I've met a lot of my partnerships through that community. Not that I'm, endorsing it, but it works for me, guys. I'm just saying. So anyhow, so within there, I got three other business partners. Two of them are in Canada, and the other one is here in the United States with me. And we formed a Wyoming-based holdings company for the sole purpose of parking our assets that we're wanting to own into the holding company. And we're a good couple deals. Our markets that we're primarily focused on are Texas, Florida, Georgia, and we're also my partner Duvall. He actually flew out to Rome because he's wanting to expand on his rental arbitrage model. So our whole point of what we're wanting to do and what we like to acquire are assets that we can maximize the income, as in short-term rentals, as in co-living models, things that, you can get more from just long-term rentals. And so we're wanting to own assets that can be maximized and operated under a short-term rental strategy. High destination areas, people are traveling. We make our units very nice, luxurious, import furniture, stuff like that. And so, yeah, that's what we're wanting to do. We're wanting to own the assets now to apply the rental arbitrage model to them. So, and then the third one that is being formed this week is Quantum Solace Equities Group. And the partners that I have in there are me, Nancy Dunn, and Jessica Gettle. We are a capital connecting business for real estate investors and other investors, even for business acquisitions, because they all tie in together, right? What people do is they come to us and okay, like one deal we're closing in particular is in Oklahoma, right? They're wanting to buy the land and build a liquor store, right? So they're going to flatten off the land, build and rehab the pre-existing structure on there, have a liquor store. Everything makes sense. Da 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 da. Long story short, they needed a couple $1 million, 1.1 million for their project. Now, mind you, that's on the smaller spectrum of what we do because we do have a $1 million cap limit, right? So we really, I'll get into that here in a minute. But regardless, so yeah, we they came to us. They say, hey, we need 1.1 million to acquire this property and to make our dream come true. Can you help me? And we analyzed the deal, gave them a consultation, and we are closing on that deal this week. And so that's literally how it works. People come to us for I don't care if it's multifamilies. We have this one gentleman in Africa in Liberia, as a matter of fact. He is it's so exciting. He's wanting to do sustainable horticulture, agriculture. He's investing in jet biofuel, turning palm right into a new fuel source for jet engines and stuff. It's amazing type of stuff that we're able to do and just meet with people, right? And capital connecting, and so that's the third business we're doing.
Yeah, there's lots of great things going on in your world, Corey. And if our listeners want to connect, reach out, or collaborate, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Well, the best way right now is, mind you, so I told everybody we're kind of new. Well, I'm new into the industry and my businesses. So we're actually, when we form Quantum Solace this week, we're actually going to go ahead and make our official business Facebook page. We're going to make our company website. Our flyers are going to have links that will provide you all to where, hey, here's the services that we offer because we're connected with large family offices, private sovereign hedge funds, things like that. So when I say we like bigger deals, don't be afraid to send us your big ones, guys. 50 million, 100 million, send them. We can get you funded. Right. So anyway, the best means right now would be either my direct line, and that is 843 and that's my direct line there. My company email is bigblessedinvestments LLC at gmail.com. And I also have my own Facebook page that I also, maximizing things. And you can search me up under Corey Mays. And I'm in Columbus, Ohio on there. So I can put a link in there, something we can.
All right. Fantastic. Well, Corey, I appreciate your time, your story, your perspective, and all the insights that you got to share. It's really inspiring.
Thank you so much, Erica. It was a pleasure. And I'd like to come back again. That we, there's all kinds of different topics we can discuss and talk to. I'm all about helping people and elevating people's mindset, right? If I can teach somebody or help somebody avoid a problem I had, I'd love to do it. So if anyone also wants to reach out to me, just networking and building up strengths and figuring out, hey, how can we work together? Don't be shy. I love to meet new people and I love to. So absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And for our listeners, if you got value from this episode, make sure that you're subscribed to the Real Estate Pro Show. We've got more conversations coming up with operators like Corey who are building fantastic real estate empires. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.